Press F11 for your full screen and keep your microphone as mute. And please put off your video webcam. And if you are not able to see a screen, then click on Spiss Tek Juniper in the corner right side of Hangout. Here you will found this, and then you will be able to see entire screen. And if anyone have any kind of query, meanwhile you can text in chat message. So I'll allow you for your query. So this is Sony speaking, and we are a Spiss Tek, and this is a Norway-based company, and we provide a multi-vendor training for corporate training and companies. And this today we will be doing a Juniper workshop. It will cover introduction of Juniper, and the outline and agenda will be this. So this is a course outline what we will cover by today. And first of all, we will look for a Juniper certification roadmap. So what Juniper provide, how we can start from Juniper, and after that we will cover of Juniper device portfolio, means what all devices is provided by Juniper, whether it is in Cisco, it is in routing, switching, or security. And then we will come into Cisco iOS versus Juniper June OS, that what make difference of Juniper, and Juno's architecture, means how Juniper OS is different from other OS. And then SRX hardware overview, means SRX is a security device, so we will brief about the SRX hardware. Then we will cover up a lab of SRX firewall, where we will be covering a basic level of configuration. And then the final slide will be for question answer. So so we are going to start a Juniper certification roadmap first of all. So in Juniper there is a three track mainly, which is means for initial level we will have to do Juniper JNCIA, which is Juniper Network Certified Internetwork Associate. This is first initial certifications which you have to do for further track. So the JNCIA Junos will cover basically Junos architecture, Junos operating system fundamentals, and Juniper interface configurations and basic initial configurations for Juniper, means how we can configure in Juniper, what is the hierarchy method, and all will cover up by JNCIA. And some of routing switching part also cover up in this JNCIA Junos. And this is a common platform or a common certification for service provider, routing switching, and Junos security. Like in Cisco we used to do CCNA RNA CCNA security, but there is only a one track which is JNCIA Junos. And after this is $100 of fees for Juniper certifications. So you can give this exam at any Pearson View Center, and then you can choose a multiple track, which is JNCI S. It means specialist level. JNCI S Juniper Network Certified Inter-Network Specialist level. This is a three track: service provider, enterprise, and security. So, as per your understanding, as per your concern, you can proceed further. Then there is one more track which is called professional. So, in Cisco, there is a three track only, which is CCNA, then CCNP, then CCIE. But in Juniper, there is four track. Means first you have to do JNCIA, which is associate level, then specialist level, then professional level, and then you will come on the expert level, inter-network expert level. And this is a basic life cycle of Juniper certifications. And there is a separate product based training also. Means if you want to enter in any tech JTech, then you will have to follow this instruction. So then you will have to do a JNCSP, which is specially designed for a support track, which is Juniper certified specialist professional in service provider, enterprise, and security. So for that, prerequisite is a professional level of certification, then you can achieve a support track. And there is more track which has been started recently by Juniper almost 6 and 7 months ago, which is JNCDA, Juniper Network Certified Design Associate. This is common platform for data center, WAN design, and security design. This is also a $100 exam. So in Juniper means JNCIA is $100 exam, and JNCI as any specialist level exam cost will be $200, and professional level cost is $300, and service provider means this expert level cost, it vary upon dollar. It's around 1600 or $1700 for lab exam. So this again we come into this specialist level of designing. There is a three separate track, which is data center, and another one is a WAN, then JNCDS security, which will cover security portfolio for designing and implementation. Then there is a track which is professional, and later it will come, maybe in next couple of months, Juniper will introduce JNCDIE, which will be expert level. So this is a basic framework of Juniper certifications. So you can start from JNCI A Junos. Then we will talk about Juniper device portfolio roadmap. Like Juniper, there is a three means routing, switching, and security. In routing, there is a MX series router, PTX series, and ACX series. And this is a high level service provider level and basic level hardware also is available from Juniper. And then switching, it is a QFX and EX series. This is a chassis as well. So QFX series is a fiber switch, and EX series, it is a copper and fiber both. And then, excuse me, Lotfi, please keep your microphone mute. Yeah, now it seems good. Okay, so in security, there is a one product which is Juniper Junos based SRX. Fahad, please keep, all of you guys, please keep your microphone mute. Fahad, please keep your microphone mute. Yes, so this is a basic key product which is routing, switching, and security. It's different series is there. For more information, you can go on juniper.net and you can find a product and roadmap. There will be a specific from initial to higher end series devices. More information you can find out from there. And this is Junos, means we can say a power of one, because Junos is a single operating system. We will come on Junos later, this slide. So on this slide, you have to focus mainly this security, routing and switching. There is a main three platform. In security, there is a starting device is SRX 100, SRX 210, 240 and 650. Then the higher end series which is 3000 series, 5000 series. And in routing, there is a different devices which is LN series, J series, M series, MX series and T series. MX and T series mostly used in the carrier network in service provider. And if we talk about switching, there is a basic level model is EX2200, and this all switches comes in different variant: 24 port, 48 port, with PoE, with non PoE, with fiber. So and more you can create a, if you are having a multiple EX2200 switches. Suppose if we have a 4 EX series switch, and if we want to stack all of 4 switch will be act as a single switch for this technology called virtual chassis. So in that the all switches can be combined as a single platform. So whatever you need to configure, you have to enter on one SSH console, then you can configure. All of ports will come into that console, so this is easier for management purpose. So this is a virtual chassis technology. And another one is Juniper OS. Like if we talk about Juniper OS, it is a common platform for all of three devices: security or switching or routing. So there is only one OS which support in routing, switching and security as well. So no need to worry about any configuration or whatever. Like in Cisco, we think about, means if we talk about Cisco switches, higher end switches, Nexus switches and firewall, there is lots of difference between all devices. So here you no need to worry about Junos, because if you will be able to understand Junos, then you can configure any device, because all it's one release track, one architecture. This is a Juniper device portfolio. Then we will talk about a Cisco OS and Juniper OS. So the mainly iOS is a traditionally is a monolithic operating system, which means it run as a single operation and all process share the same memory space. It means this Cisco iOS is a traditionally monolithic. Like if anything has happened or if there is a bug, then entire OS will be impacted. And in this addition, if a user wish to add any kind of feature and function of the operating system, iOS has to be deactivated. Means if there is any bug, then all process will be impacted. So this is one drawback for iOS. And in Juniper OS is constructed as a modular operating system, and it is a kernel based on the open source free BSD operating system, and process that run as a module on top of the kernel and segregated in exclusive protected memory space. Means in Juniper, this is a modular OS. We called it a modular OS because there is a separate process and daemons run on the kernel base. So if anything is not working, then that specific module will be impacted, not entire Juniper OS will impact. So this is a main key feature of Juniper OS, and it provide means if we would like to upgrade our device, then we no need to worry about a downtime or maintenance window. There is one feature called in service software upgrade, ISSU, that provide enhanced uptime and availability. So the reality is iOS is pretty old and Junos is architecturally designed differently. It's more modern and modular, meaning bug fixes are easier and functional failure tend to be not as impactful and as they are with Edge iOS. So Juniper, it do not like multiple operating system. they do not like the fact that they have to figure out what release of the operating system work with which particular product and product. Said Juniper founder by Mr. Pradeep Sindhu that Juniper is a single operating system. Like in Cisco, there is a variant like flavor which is iOS XR, iOS XE, NXOS. So this is a difficult to user friendly. Means if we have a higher end series or any new device if we purchase from Cisco, then we have to think about it that how we will manage. For that, first of all, we will have to take training, and then or else we will have to go through the technical documentation. Then we can come to know that how we can configure. But in Juniper, you can configure if you can configure Juniper SRX, which is a all-in-one box. So you can configure any device like in Cisco, there is a different OS released by Cisco at the access switches, aggregation, security, and WAN. There is a different product and different OS released at many time, too many release. But in if we talk about Juniper, there is a EX4200 which is switch as a access layer, aggregation layer. It is 8200 which is virtual chassis, and security which is SRX, and WAN router which is M series. So there is a single Juniper OS, and number of release train is only one. So this is a best feature which is provided by Juniper. So what makes Junos better? Because it's as we already talked about, this is a one OS single source code base and one release single software release track for feature supersets, and one architecture which is modular software with resource separation. So now it is Juno's architecture, means how Juniper OS work different. So I told you before that Juniper have a different processes for different protocols like interface management, chassis management, SNMP, security services. So this is based on FreeBSD Unix operating system. So suppose means modular. What means by modular? Means suppose we talk about interface management. If management interface is not working and if anything has happened to management interface, then we can restart that specific Linux services through the command. So other traffic or other protocol will and services will not be impacted. So we can restart this daemon only. But in Cisco, if we want to reboot or restart any kind of service, then we have to reboot entire OS. So in Juniper, you no need to reboot entire device. And this is a Juno single architecture for starting to higher end series. This is a single software train. Yeah, so now this is a means architecture based. There is main uh, means design of Juniper OS is a clean separation of control and forwarding plane. So this is a logical diagram of Juniper OS, means how Juniper OS works. In Juniper OS there is a two types of daemons, which is a control plane and forwarding plane. So the control plane and forwarding plane, it means whenever this is a device OS or a device itself, so there is a logical separation of control plane and forwarding plane. Means whenever packet will come on interface, all interface will belongs to forwarding plane. So suppose we talk about GE0/0, if any packet is coming here and it destination based on next device or internet, then what will happen in Juniper OS? First of all, packet will come here, then here it will check a forwarding table which is called FT forwarding table. So it will check if that traffic is destination to device itself, then it will forward to this way. And if that traffic is going to internet, then it will pass if the destination route is available in forwarding table. So it will not go in the control plane. So this is a security based operating system. So this is a separation of control plane and forwarding plane. So whenever traffic will come, it will pass through this plane only. And the control plane, what is the functionality of control plane? Means control plane, we talk about routing engine. This is a main, or control plane, we can say it's a brain of Juniper or device. So everything will be controlled by control plane, or control plane contain a routing engine. Routing engine is logical and physical parts of the device. So this comes into control plane, and routing plane will create a routing engine will create a routing table, and it will create a copy of routing table like forwarding table. Then it will send that forwarding table to a forwarding plane, which is packet forwarding engine. So this will regularly update and sync with the control plane and forwarding plane. So whenever new configuration will, whatever we configure, that all will be synced from control plane to forwarding plane. And whatever device itself traffic and routing protocols, everything will be controlled by control plane. And forwarding plane used for data, it's called as a data plane as well. So the whenever packet will come, it will just check the forwarding table, and if that packet is match the destination address, then it will forward next. And if we are going to do a telnet or a SSH of device itself, then what will happen, packet will come here, and here forwarding plane and packet forwarding engine will see that what is the destination for this packet. So it will see that, yeah, this is for my itself traffic for SSH. Then it will pass through the internal link, and then the response will be provided by here. So this is a basic architecture of control plane and forwarding plane, how it works. So the routing engine, it maintain the routing and forwarding table, and control and monitor the chassis. Chassis in the sense hardware, it control and monitor the entire hardware, and manage PFE. PFE is a packet forwarding engine which works on forwarding plane. So this is a basic functionality of routing engine, which is comes into control plane. This is routing engine, same we talked already. So now this is a packet forwarding engine. It used for layer 2 and layer 3 forwarding table provided by routing engine. As means control plane will forward that routing table. It will create a copy of that table, and it will send it to forwarding plane, and implement a various services such as a policy, stateless, firewall filtering, and class of services. All services will be pushed to the forwarding plane. So the Juniper OS architecture has been finished, and now we move to SRX hardware overview. Yes, so the basic initial hardware which is used for small office, we can say SOHO, small office, home office. This is a SRX 100 device. This is not a one rack unit exactly, it is a small box which provide a security. Then there is a SRX 210, 220, 240, 650. So there is a hardware and hardware difference, and scalability. Ports different as well, hardware capacity difference. So as per customer requirement, we can provide a different model as per capacity, like hardware capacity, how many concurrent session can be used. So as per requirement, we can provide. So the small office, this SRX 210 and SRX 100 is comes into small office. Small to medium office, we can propose 220 and 240. For larger branch and regional office, we can provide a 650. So in Juniper, there is a category categorized for Juniper SRX, means from starting SRX 100 to 650, that is called SRX branch portfolio, which is called branch series. And then later on, higher end series comes in this picture, which is SRX 1000, 1400 series, 3000 series, and 5000 series, which is high level devices. Yeah, so the mainly what is the feature of this Juniper SRX? First of all, the SRX is all-in-one box we can say, which support Juniper, which support switching, routing, and security, and advanced security, which is called UTM. UTM is just a term which is a unified threat management feature, which is a license based provided by Juniper for SRX series from starting 100 to 650. It is provided by Juniper, which is license based. So this UTM is content IPS, like intrusion prevention system. It detect and prevent worms, trojan, and DOS attacks, and scanning from L4 to L7. And one more license, which is web filtering. We can secure proxy or web traffic through the web filtering feature. So there is multiple more than 130 categories will be update randomly from the centralized server. Kamal, please keep your microphone mute and video. Okay, it's okay. It seems you have not done yet. Okay, okay, okay. Take your time. So we were at UTM feature. So there is a IPS web filtering and one more antivirus, which is a Kaspersky Sky. It use a Kaspersky Sky Lab AV antivirus feature, and it prevent from Trojan, spyware, adware, keyloggers. So you can identify if there is any malicious software Trojan or anything. And one more is anti-spam. It use Symantec uh, scan server. From there it will update. And there is a content filtering, which is a non-licensed feature. It will comes in the initial box. You no need to purchase any kind of license for content filtering. You can filter any zip file and anything like if you want, if your requirement is, if anyone is trying to send any mail more than 3 MB or 4 MB, you can fix up here, so that more than that size the file will not transfer from firewall to internet traffic. And this is core security, which is by default comes with the firewall, which is firewall VPN and unified access control. So if someone is coming from external side, internet side, it will prevent these all attacks. And if anyone is coming from internal traffic, it will check websites to block unapproved site. If we have categories like porn site, any gaming site, and social media, we can block from web filtering feature. And antivirus as well. And anti-spam, we do not use for inside to outside traffic. It used basically from outside to inside if anyone is sending a spam mail. And content filtering, it block the transmission of file for data loss prevention. And the basic functionality is firewall, VPN, and unified access control. So this is a UTM, means all in one. We can say it's a bunch of multiple features and multiple license. So through that, as per your requirement, you can purchase multiple license and you can install it on your box, and you can use the services as per your requirement. So this is just a typical deployment scenario, means which device can be fit in which scenario. So like if we talk about small office, if you have a small users number of 8 to 10 users, in that situation you can configure SRX210 through the DSL link, because SRX210 have a capability of DSL link as well. So you can configure SRX210 for the small office. And if you have a wireless users, like SRX210 for wireless. Yeah, this one more benefits for SRX is, if you are having a multiple wireless access point, it not support for entire series, but Juniper old one, which was AX411 series, that is a wireless access point that can be controlled by the SRX firewall. So for that you no need to purchase any controller for manage the wireless access point. So that is by default inbuilt in the SRX firewall capability. So you can configure as a wireless controller. So you can create a multiple SSID, and you can create a multiple user firewall authentication rule, and wireless user can be authenticated through the firewall, and traffic can be passed. And if we talk about larger office, there we can provide a EX4200, EX3200, and SRX240. And same for headquarter, this SRX50, which is highest branch series model, and for branch series SRX210, and for again branch series 210. So this is a normal diagram or a layout for the devices where you can put which device. Yes, so now we are on the SRX. So like if we have an internet and it is connected on a SRX, this is a firewall, this is an untrust zone. By default, what will do Juniper will default all policies. This is a zone which is trust zone. Default policies allow all, which is by default configured in the default configuration. In default configuration, there will be two zone, which is untrust and trust. By default, Juniper OS, Juniper SRX firewall GE0/0/0 will be used for, or it's configured as WAN interface. This is a separate zone we can configure for accounting, and we can create one more zone for guest. So this is a basic default configuration of SRX firewall. So now it's interesting thing we are going to do is a lab. I think everyone will be bored in the theoretical. So now we are moving in the lab part. So we can uh, configure something, or yes. So this is a SRX firewall. Just a minute, if I'm going to do yes. So the key feature of Juniper OS means Juniper OS, there is a default user which is root, and if you have a box and fresh box, then the username will be root for that, and the password will be nothing, you have to enter only. So this is a basic points you need to remember. And then now I am logged into the firewall. it is logged by a root user. So basically Juniper does not allow a root user to do telnet from any device. It's architecture base and design base. It does not allow you to telnet. You can't enable telnet for root user. If you will enable, you can enable, but it will not work because it as we already know that telnet is not a secure, it is a vulnerable. If we do audit, that will be comes into vulnerable. So the Juniper by default, it does not allow you to log in through the root user via telnet. So for that we will have to enable a SSH as well. So now I am logged in with the SSH. So here you can find a configuration what is done. So this is look different from Cisco. I have given yes, one second. I'll provide you the initial means yes. So first of all, there is three types of mode in CLI. First of all, whenever user will log in through the root user, it will comes in the this mode, which is called cell mode. It will show you the percentage. So this is a cell mode for and here the command will not work. Here you have to put a Unix command like ls, and all commands will work. So for advanced level troubleshooting, we use this cell mode. And here if you want to enter in CLI prompt, like operational mode you can say, so you have to put a CLI, then you will comes into operational mode. Here all show command will work, like show interface ters. You will find all interface status. So this is a GE 0/0 is up now, and GE 0/0/1 is up now. So you can find here any kind of configuration. So security policy, you can find policies, whatever policy is configured on this box. You can find here that this is a default policy is deny all, and from zone trust to zone trust, it is a inter-zone policy, default policy, permit enabled, and source any, destination any, application any, then permit. And there is one more policy which is trust to untrust, which is name of policy is default permit, any permit. And from zone untrust to zone trust, there is configured policy name is default deny, which is any then deny. So then if you want to see any alarm, so system alarm command is there. If you want to see hardware or software version, you can see show version, software release 12.1x46. Yes, so mm, then if you want to move into configuration mode, then you have to put configure, then enter. Now you have been entered in the configuration mode, and the sign of configuration mode is hash. And here it's showing edit, means in Juniper OS there is a main difference, means if you can understand, like if I put a show command, it will show everything in a language like C language or hierarchy base. So this is quite different, but I'll show you how you can check configuration. Like if we talk about a specific show interface configuration, yes, see, this is a configuration of interface. So here you can identify, means if here it's showing edit, it means you are on the top of hierarchy. Then if set GE 0/0/1, then unit 0, means entire one line. If I talk about one line command, for that you will have to put pi, then display set, it will show one line command. So there is a two method of checking the configuration. First you can check through the normal, which is basics key of Juniper, means everything will be so in a hierarchy method. So here you will not be able to understand properly, so you can put a display set command. So here everything will be so in a single line. So you can check here that this is a single line command. Set interface ge 0/0/1 unit 0 family inet, and we have given the address, IP address. And if we see here you can check first this, second one this, then third one this, then third one this. So this is a different of this OS. So if you want to check security policies with display set configuration single line, you will check this. Like this one, set security policies from zone trust to zone untrust. Policy name will be default permit, and match application any. This is entire from here. Yes, this is a set for this policy. From zone trust to untrust, default match source address any, destination address any, application any, then permit. You can configure through this way. And one more thing you can do in Juniper SRX or any Juniper device, means there is one feature called rollback, which is by default whatever you have configured. Suppose I am going to configure interface like this GE 0/0 is not configured with any IP, so I am going to configure this interface. I have configured. Yes, one more thing. Until unless if you will not put any commit command which is used for run active for run configuration, it will not be active. So I have configured this command. If I check now interface, yes, it has been configured, but still it is not in live configuration. So for that you will have to put a commit command. So commit command we use for like in Cisco we use write command, but in Cisco whatever command we will put, that will immediately affect it, immediately it will be in active configuration. But in Juniper there is a different, means whatever you have configured, if you have not committed yet, then nothing will happen to that device. So again you no need to worry, means if you have configured by mistake, you have configured a different, or made a mistake of IP address, then you can again check that if there is any mistake or not, then you can be sure, then you can put commit command. So I put this commit command. Yes, so now I have checked this. Yes, no, so now it has been committed. So yes, so if anything has happened and if you want to roll back or if you want to restore, rollback you can say it is like kind of restore. If you have configured something, like we have configured this interface, and if you want to remove this interface, or if suppose if I talk about a live environment, what happen means suppose if a network is configured and everything is working fine, and now we have configured a VPN or a new policy, and after configuration of new policy everything has been down, means someone come from any team and will complain you that that is not working, that is not working, and you will not be able to understand what you made any mistake or whatever. So in that situation you can roll back that configuration. So for that you can put rollback 1. Rollback 1, it means the last configuration before commit configuration will be active again. So I am going to put a rollback 1, and there is one more command which is so compare, means in Juniper there is a two configuration file, means one will be active configuration, another will be candidate configuration. So whatever you have configured, if you have not committed yet, that will be in candidate configuration, and if you have committed, that will become a active configuration. So now it is showing you the compare with the rollback one, means what you have changed with the active configuration. So here it's showing minus sign, means this configuration is going to be removed. So you can check here that family inet address, this is address of that interface, this is going to delete. So in rollback 1 previous it was not there, so it is showing you that this configuration is going to remove if you commit it. So I am going to commit it. If I now check the interface, it has been removed. So there is one key feature of this rollback. So Juniper support 49 rollback, means if you have committed, suppose if you have configured something, and if you have committed one time, second time, third time, fourth time, or later on suppose 10 days later, you will come to know that yeah, something is not working, but before 7 days it was working. So at that time you can see run so system commit, it will show entire commit time. Means suppose it has been created a four rollback file, which is 0 is a active one which is running right now, one has been committed at this time, rollback 2 has committed at this time, and rollback this has committed at 13 January. So if you remember the exact date or approximate time, you can come to know that yeah, that configuration was working fine on 4th, on this 13th of January. Then you can put rollback and 4, which will be number rollback 4. I have committed, and I will compare it that what all has been going to change, what will be going to change. So it is showing me all plus sign, it means this will be included in this configuration. This is minus sign, which is root authentication, which is root user password. So everything is this. So if you don't want to commit, then you can put rollback 0. It is a current configuration. Now it is not showing anything. Yes, one more thing, if by mistake if you have copied some configuration, if you are going to configure, and if you have copied that all configuration in the notepad, and then you are going to put paste in the firewall, okay, then finally before commit you have to put so compare, then all configuration will show you that whatever changes you are going to do and what will happen after commit. So this is a rollback feature. And one more thing, means Juniper has one more feature which is called commit confirm. Means what will happen if you are at remote site, and if customer has scheduled a maintenance window, and in that situation you are at remote site, and you have access of that firewall through the public IP or through the VPN, and then you are going to configure a new, suppose a VPN configuration or any kind of change management change request. Then if you will commit, then what will happen if, means there will be possibility of device lost. Like if something has configured wrongly, then what will happen, you will not be able to reach that device again. Then what will happen, you will the SRX will lost connectivity. So in that situation you can do one thing, you can configure commit confirm, and then you can put a time. Like if you will put a commit confirm, then what will happen is commit confirm by default will take a 10 minute. So if every, this is like a confirmation, so whatever has been configured, and if you put a commit confirmed command, in that situation the firewall will continue till 10 minute, and after 10 minutes it will automatically roll back to previous configuration. So suppose you have, if you have configured something, if you have changed anything, policy and interface and anything, then you put a commit confirm. Then see here it's showing commit confirm will be automatically rolled back in 10 minutes unless confirmed commit complete. So now I have put commit confirm. Suppose if this firewall is connected through the remote side and I have commit confirmed. Now still I am able to reach. I am able to do anything in this firewall. It means whatever I have configured, that is working fine. No one is complaining and nothing is stopped and everything is smoothly working. So now you are sure that everything is configured perfectly. Then you can put one more commit. So this will be finally commit your configuration. So now you no need to worry about it, because if anything mistake or anything is there, then you will come to know that if you put commit confirm command, and if you lost your connectivity, then you no need to worry about it, because you have to wait only 10 minutes. Then it will automatically roll back to the previous configuration, and then you can check that whatever you had mistake, then you can rectify that and you can configure another thing. So for that, if you no need to wait for a 10 minute, in that situation you can put here a minute, like number of minutes until automatic rollback. Okay, so if you put 5 minute, then it will automatic roll back within 5 minutes. So this is more based off option or feature, you can say. And yeah, so this was commit configuration and commit confirm and rollback. So if you put so and then by display set, it will show entire configuration, entire running configuration. It will show in a single line. And if you put only so, then everything will show in hierarchy mode. So now I think we have done with this workshop. So you can ask your question answer query. If you have any kind of query, then you can ask. You can unmute your phone or you can text me over this hangout. Anyone have query?